So for my book report, I read an amazing book, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This book was written by the incredible author Ransom Riggs. The story takes place in the U.S. and on an island just outside the U.S. Now the time period, that's kind of confusing. Sometimes the book takes place in modern time. But for a lot of the book takes place in what's called a loop, where it's always the same day every day. That day is September 3rd, 1940. The main plot of the story is that a teen named Jacob goes to explore the island where his grandfather grew up just after witnessing his death. Jacob is convinced that he saw a monster kill his grandfather, but everyone else just thinks he's crazy. His grandfather always told stories about his peculiar friends who had some pretty strange and special talents. Jacob had never believed him until now, after his grandfather strangely and suddenly passed away. Jacob only had one choice: to get to the bottom of this mystery and find these peculiar children. Jacob's conflict is internal because he has to decide whether to stay with these peculiar children or go home with his family. The scene that I am going to reenact is when Miss Peregrine, the headmistress of the House of Peculiar Children, gives Jacob a lesson about peculiar beings. I'll be playing the character of Miss Peregrine, and Stuart is going to help me by being Jacob. Allow me to give you a brief primer. I think you'll find the answers to most of your questions contained herein.
Okay.
The composition of the human species is infinitely more diverse than most humans suspect. The real taxonomy of Homo sapiens is a secret known to only a few, of whom you will now be one. At base, it's simple dichotomy. There are coral folk, the teeming mass of common people who make humanity's great bulk. And then there's the hidden branch, the crypto-sapiens, if you will, who are called the Syndragas, or peculiar spirits, in the venerable language of my ancestors. As you have no doubt surmised, we here are the later type.
But why don't people know about you? Are you the only ones?
There are peculiars all over the world, though our numbers are much diminished from what they were. Those who still remain live in hiding like we do. There was a time when we could mix openly with common folk. In some regions of the world, we are regarded as wise mystics. Just a few religions have kept this viewpoint, but the larger world turned against us long ago.
So why don't you just, build your own country somewhere?
If only it had been that simple. Peculiar traits often skip a generation or two. Can you see why this would be a danger to peculiar kind?
Because parents would freak out because their kids are throwing fire.
Exactly. Peculiar children are often abused in the most horrific ways. Parents thought that their real children had been exchanged with changelings. In darker times, this was considered the license to abandon or even kill them.
That's awful.
Extremely. Something had to be done, so people like myself created places where young peculiars could live apart from common folk, physically and temporally isolated in enclaves like this one, of which I am extremely proud.
People like yourself.
We peculiars are blessed with skills that common people lack, as infinite in combination and variety as others are in the pigmentation of their skin or the appearance of their facial features. That said, some skills are common, like reading thoughts, and others are rare, such as the way I can manipulate time.
Time, I thought you turned into a bird.
To be sure, and therein lies the key to my skill. Only birds can manipulate time. Therefore, all time manipulators must be able to take form of a bird.
So birds are time travelers?
Most, however, slip back and forth only occasionally by accident. We who can manipulate time fields consciously, and not only for ourselves, but for others, are known as yambrings. We create temporal loops in which peculiar folk can live indefinitely.
A loop, is that what this place is?
Yes, though you may better know it as the 3rd of September, 1940.
What do you mean it's only one day? It repeats?
Over and over, though our experience of it is continuous. Otherwise, we would have no memory of the last, 70 years that we've resided here.
That's amazing.
As you may be already able to tell, this book will take you on a fun, mystical adventure. I'd recommend this book to anyone who likes mystery, adventure, or fantasy novels. You can find this book at bookstores, online, or at the school's library. I really enjoyed reading this fantasy book that whisked me away to a whole nother world. I think you would really enjoy it too.